Dear participants, I welcome you all for this session 3 of day 4. Now we are going to see a hands-on demo using Azure. The resource person of the third session is Dr. G.R. Kanaka Chidambaresan sir. He is going to share his experience with the demo using Azure. Now I request Dr. G.R. Kanaka Chidambaresan sir to take this session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for meeting again. And this session will give you a lot on opportunities of wireless sensor networks and Industry 4.0 on with cloud stuff, how to interface with cloud stuff and other things. That's what you're going to see this session. So let me come to the presentation. Many are yet to come up. 29 participants are there. Shall we start or wait for 5 minutes?
Sir, wait for 5 minutes, sir. Still, the participants are joining now. Only 28 have joined so far, sir. Shall we start now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can start. Okay. Um, okay, guys. Very good afternoon. So this session we are going to see what is Industry 4.0 and their possible opportunities, challenges, and solutions. This is what we are going to see in this session. So here, Industry 4.0 mentions that. Okay, Industry 4.0 is a leading technology where machines talk with machines. Like this technical name is something like cyber physical system. We call it as CPS system. So in Industry 3.0, normal PLC based and SCADA based devices were working, and it was quite automating many stuff. So right now in Industry 4.0, these cyber physical systems have been interfaced with internet connectivity and are presented with more intelligence so that they can able to interact with other machines. Okay, so the leading companies with whom they are working on with the Industry 4.0 or something like Lawson. So these people are pioneers, and they are making a lot of industrial Internet of Things applications. Okay, uh, you can have a look at these things. It's a very, very interesting stuff. This is their blog. They are towards Industry 5.0. Okay, so presently they are very ahead than what we are thinking. Still, India is yet to adapt Industry 4.0 and other necessary measures. Okay, so why Industry 4.0 is critical, and why companies are really struggling and they don't want to make with the Industry 4.0 is what we are going to see in this presentation. So, what we are real expectation. Okay, so the plan of the presentation will be like this. What is Industry 4.0? What is cyber physical systems, possible options and challenges, security and new protocol designs, and some of the interesting demonstrations for Industry 4.0. Okay, so what is Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 is focused on creating smart environments in manufacturing process. Industry 4.0 focused on creating intelligent products, process, and procedures. So, for example, if you are making a manufacturing company, if you are a manufacturing based company, you should put some necessary sensors over the vibrating table, and you want to know whether the drill bit is okay or drill bit has to be changed, or the other machines or rotating parts, what is the wear and tear happening, all the things you want to identify and say, so that necessary prognostics can be taken in advance. Okay, so that is the main aim of Industry 4.0 here. And the essence of Industry 4.0 in IoT, Internet of Things, and Internet as Services, computers and automation will come together, in particular based on cyber physical systems, production systems that integrate communications, IT, data, physical elements, and wherein the system transforms the traditional plant into a smart factory. So presently, missions make missions. So that's what we are seeing. Like one robot will be starting and building up another mission. And presently, I have seen many videos in Facebook that auto coding methods. Like one guy will be drawing the web page in a whiteboard. The system camera will see, and it starts automatically working on with writing the coding. Okay, so when you draw the just web page over an whiteboard, what it does, the system will grab what he is expecting and starts converting into an XML page. Okay, so that is the important stuff what we are working on. It is like we want to know, unknowingly we want to identify the interest of the client, and we want to start deriving some products out of it. So that is the main aim of Industry 4.0. So what is Industry 4.0? Is industry revolution, missions and utilization of missions, like invention of wheel, and with wheels what they were doing, and with fans, motors, those things are there. Second, Industry 2.0 is nothing but mass production and volume, like conveyor-based mechanisms has come, where fixing will be done by one, and assembling will be done by one, and other things. So mass production was quite possible with the conveyor-based mechanism. So how conveyor-based production line has come, as you all know, this guy called Ford guy went to see that it took more time for us to make a car. We want to just simple the process. Then he went to an slaughtering house, where he see one guy was cutting the head of the beef, and another guy was tearing the skin. It was a cyclic thing, and he thought, why can't we make something like this stuff, steak industry, just like steak industry? Why can't we make something on car industry, so that assembling will be done by one guy and other things will be done by other guy, so which requires very low skill set, and which also can improve the production. So that was the main aim on mass production. Third is the employing automation. Employing automation is very, very simple, and it was being done with something like PLC and SCADA. You know what is mean by PLC and SCADA? SCADA system is nothing but supervisory control and data acquisition system, where all the data from industry will be pumped to one terminal for better prognostics and for understanding the mission. Okay, so that is what happened here. Okay, so this is what SCADA is. Okay, PLC. There are many type of PLCs available. Fanuc is a very important guy who's making wonders in this area. But Fanuc is little outdated. Many more number of PLCs have come. Lots and lots of PLCs have come now, which is more advantageous than Fanuc. Fanuc is a very old. Yes, they are shining on controller designs and other things. But Fanuc is old, and Schneider is having good PLCs. Schneider. You see, this is the PLC what they do. The normal IoT based stuff, they work for limited time. Okay, so let me come to a point. The thing is, the normal switch what you have in your home can able to withstand something like 10 lakh clicks, 10 lakh or 5 lakh on and off. But this PLC can handle more than 1 crore on and off. Okay, so that is the major thing, and it is being controlled with electronics, 12-volt supply. At least make something more useful. Nowadays, IoT controlled PLC boards are available, where you want to we can program any PLC using your mobile phone. Okay, so these are all PLC boards, and Schneider, L&T, even L&T is working good, and one more company is Fanuc, and one more company is working really good on PLC. So these are all 16-bit stuff, 16-bit controllers, and it works really hard on. It can able to do it with ladder logic programming, just like what I did in the morning stuff. Assembling drag and drop programming, it is what we call as ladder logic programming. For example, you buy a PLC and you start a biscuit company. You start a biscuit company. First, you have to produce the normal milk bikis. Okay. So after quite some while, you want to produce Mary biscuits. So what you do is you can automatically feed the program for corresponding biscuit and it starts producing the corresponding biscuit. So here why IoT comes in picture is, so here IoT what it do really is like in one of the brake company where I worked is what having is the brakes are manufactured in one location and they will be transmitted to another location in their company and where the assemble will take place. So this is brake manufacturing area and this is brake assembling area. After it is been assembled, it will be sent to Godown. Godown is where some other area. So they make lorry transport for making these things, and they want to know they will after some bunch of production they will talk through phone and they will start sending the data. Instead, what they are expecting is they want to put an IoT device in everywhere, and they are not interested to have internet connection because their data is very secure. So they want to make IoT intranet of things like these three locations are at least 15 kilometers away. So this is what the target been given to me, and so all these things are 15 kilometers away from me. If Godown is not having a place to just accommodate the products, it will simply send a message to the manufacturing unit that I don't have an place to work. So what they do is they stop the manufacturing, and assembling is some of the assembling rails are being stopped. The manufacturing will, there is no use of manufacturing. Okay, so what we do is, what I did is I put a LoRa communication communication between these three things, and we started communicating in a more secured way. So we put ECC algorithm, like elliptic curve cryptography. You know what is meant by, I think everybody knows what is meant by elliptic curve cryptography. Elliptic curve cryptography is mainly used for lightweight kinds, thin clients. Elliptic curve cryptography is the stuff what people normally do when it comes to industries and thin client business. Okay, so why they go for elliptic curve cryptography is very light and can able to accommodate even in smart microprocessors and other things. There is no need for you to have a very big decryption stuff. It is also robust for attacks. Okay, that is the main thing. If you are working on with security aspects, you please go with this algorithm. It is very useful. Okay. See how it works, and elliptic curve cryptography Python program was also available, was working fine. If you give some text data, it will encrypt. This is not suitable for big data like image or something. It's not good, but this will work for speech as well as for sensors data. So what is the sensor, what is the value, blah things, it can able to work for that. So you want to know what is the thing you want to choose for what application. Okay, so that is a very important thing that you want to know. Okay. This is the evolution. So Industry 4.0 needs to be differentiated by prevailed concepts like IoT. IoT is not Industry 4.0 because IoT is a part of Industry 4.0. So many technologies together comes as Industry 4.0. Simply one technology will not work with the Industry 4.0. So many people confuse IoT with Industry 4.0. IoT enabled factories which can able to think automatically and which can able to work is what we call as Industry 4.0. Okay, so Big data concepts are available, 3D printing, automation, normally silos. Silos is nothing but what you see here, is the silos. How many of you know or operating system ROS? Has anybody worked with ROS, robot operating system? Hello? Has anyone worked with this operating system called ROS? One welding machine will be there, so which is very interesting. That's also called silos actually. Some spelling might be there. Okay, so coming to the point, how many of you know this? Worked with this? You please start working with this operating system. Even if your students start giving your students operating system task on this. Okay, ROS is nothing but robot operating system. Okay, so if you're yeah, I think you are all seeing what I'm displaying. So this is the robot which makes the welding, painting, whatever. I think in many news advertisements and other things you might have seen this. I think you all should be knowing this. Have you ever seen this guy before? In all advertisements, packaging factories, everywhere this guy comes. This guy is what we call as Japanese robotic machine. It is mainly for automation, welding, and other things. So what this guy do is it takes code from us and it starts working on the same again and again and again. Okay. So for example, if I'm working on some research with temperature and welding, for example, I put a camera and I write image processing application to capture the heat and I stop the heat. Okay. I made some research and I want to test it with real time. Normally, what we do in image processing research, we grab some image, we put bubble image, we put Lena image, or we put fruits and other image, we calculate PSNR something and we publish some papers. That's what normally people do. But here, for that, what we do is we go for MATLAB based system or Python based system and we execute and we publish. Have you ever tried whether it will suit with any robot or very industrial applications? No. So how that can be able to suit with the industrial application is when you program your algorithm with this thing called ROS. ROS melodic. Okay. So this is what we call as ROS. ROS has a very wide application in industry. When you test some algorithm in this ROS environment, you can simply directly boot the same algorithm inside the robot. Okay. If you design some method, getting load actually, internet is getting. It is really slow. Installation is very easy. You want to install it within Ubuntu. Okay, so that you can simply put some codes and you can directly test, so that the same code can be deployed easily inside any robot. All the industrial robot works on this operating system. We call it ROS. I sincerely advise you to take some courses on ROS. It is available in all sort of things. So I have shared you the link. It will be very, very interesting, like how to work with these and how to program. That would be really good and useful for you. This is free of cost, no payment. All the things what I'm advising here is totally free of cost. Okay, so you can put this inside Ubuntu, Debian, and Windows. Even I have not tried it. I don't work with Windows normally, so I don't recommend Windows. So you can also put it with Ubuntu, and you can add your parameters. Like this is mainly for digital constructions and Industry 4.0 concept. This product, this entire module is for that only. Okay. Okay, so why we are facing a lot of problem in India is shortage of skill sets. Okay, normally India is not a major manufacturer; it is only assembler. Somewhere people manufacture and we assemble lot many products here. So one of the major disadvantage here. But thanks to Atmanirbhar Bharat, so people are started manufacturing their own things here. Okay, so increasing in data volume, therefore adequate IT system to analyze data. So every second they are pumping lot many data. We don't have perfect storage facilities and we are unable to map these, or we don't know how to map these and other things. Need long-term commitment. Like today you install some sensors, so that it doesn't mean that after a year I can able to give better prognostics. No, because the machine learning accuracy mainly determined by the volume of data set that you normally give. It takes long-term commitment to do such things. Okay, it's a major upheaval and not smooth changing. It is not a single industry solution, but it has a widespread impact. For example, food-based industries has widespread impact on these things. For example, if you consider a food-based industries, the raw material will be from different areas. Okay, in order to understand, you want to know where the input comes from, and you want to know the parameters, chemical parameters of from where it comes, or blah blah things. Okay, so needs interdisciplinary collaboration. It closely linked to cloud and big data. PLC and SCADA. As I just mentioned, what is PLC and SCADA? Siemens. So please go through this thing. You can also code this Siemens stuff with normal Arduino based programs also. IoT 2000, 2020, 2040. So please put this. I have put it in a chat. And you can also program it with Arduino, Perl C, Eclipse, and Python. So this is very, very interesting stuff. You can able to work on with this. So let me go for I think Firebase demonstration I have given you. So let me give some demonstrations on Zigbee. Okay, so Digi is the company which sponsors, which makes a lot many Zigbee components. So please go through this. So you know what is meant by Zigbee. Zigbee is a communication protocol where you can able to send and receive data. You consider any system. You consider any system like computer or mobile phone or anything. It has a sensor component. It has processing component. It has network component and power component. Okay. So normally in IoT we prefer networking component as Zigbee. Okay, so this is the company which makes lot many Zigbee and gives opportunity for lot many people. We have Zigbee 3, Zigbee cellular networks, and other things. XB, we call it as XB. Let me show you how XB works. Can you able to see me? Hello. So you can able to see me. So what I have done here is I have an I have a Zigbee connected to my system. The computer what I am using. Okay. So the white card what you are seeing is the Zigbee connected to my system. This is the radio. It is a very old radio actually. New radios has come, but yet I don't want to lose my old one. So this is the Zigbee radio what I have. So you can able to see two lights blinking here. So this can able to send and receive information. I am going to use the USB port here. Okay, I'm going to write a Python program, or I'm going to give some command to access this USB port and send command to through this radio. Okay, so this works on Zigbee protocol. The same sort of radio can be used for hello. It passed. So you can also replace this thing with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and other things. Only the radio gets changed. Okay, you understand? Okay. Okay. So what is the other thing? What I'm having here is an board which is being done by me. You can see the board. Okay. So this is the another board. You can see Zigbee here, Zigbee, a relay module, and the lamp which is being connected here. So you can able to make these two Zigbees at least 1 kilometer apart, because the range of this Zigbee is at least 1 kilometer. So now I'm going to switch on and switch off and going to communicate with that corresponding Zigbee. Okay. So let me turn this as per your requirement. Okay. Now what I have is Zigbee here. So let me create and show you the network. I hope you all know what is wireless sensor network, and many people have done research on the wireless sensor network. Wireless networks, hybrid networks, acoustic networks, many things. But the concept is same, like a packet formation and other things. Everything will be very, very similar. And in morning also somebody recognized the ANF Akail. I'm very happy that some IoT and wireless guys are here. Okay, so normally when we start to make network, so one will be coordinator, router, end device. Okay, so in wireless sensor network means this is cluster number, this is cluster head, and this is the sink. Okay, this is the sink. We call it as sink. So normally you will be writing a routing algorithm, and you will be making a routing table, and you will be sending data, you will be seeing packets, and you will be checking what is the energy consumed per packet, and doing lot many things. Am I right? Is my voice audible? Hello? Hello? This is what we normally do. Yes.
Sir, sir?
Yes?
Your voice is get disturbed, sir.
What about now?
It's okay now.
Yeah, because I switched off the fan. Okay. Okay. So normally we have one cluster member, we have a cluster head, and we have a sink. So sink. So this is what normally have, and routing table will be formed here. All the nodes makes a routing table. Am I right? All nodes will be having a routing table, and I think you all know how we make packets. Okay. For example, let me put a word before you. I love India. This is the content what I'm going to share. Okay. So now what we do is we convert this to ASCII value or UTF-8 or UTF-16 or something, so that we get something like 168. So 172 something. I'm not sure about the value, but we get some data like this. This we again convert to ones and zeros, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, something, so that it together is the information packet. Okay, data. Now you add header, you add footer, it becomes a packet. Okay. Now I'm gonna send a packet. You cannot. Okay. So this is the software which is mainly used to program radios. This is the packet which is the software which is mainly used to program radios. And let me, since I have plugged in the device, let me find the device. Okay. So now, as in the morning I told, everything has an address, and the address is being identified as COM11. Oh my God. This is also a free version. It should work now. Configuration takes a little time. meeting has been forgotten. Okay. Okay. So it is working in another system. My system got some issues. Okay. So when I start scanning it, you can also see one device found here. So this is the cluster head. C represents the cluster head. So now I have added it. Now I don't have any right here. It is not physically connected yet. This thing is not physically connected yet. It will able to drag the information of this device. What you are seeing in the what you are seeing here, it will directly get that device information from here. Okay, so I am only some few meters apart. So let me check how many guys come inside the network. You see, wirelessly it has sent a hello packet and it has retrieved the information. Okay, so let me add it. Okay, so now what you are seeing, going to see is the sorry. You can see the network now. Now I'm having only two devices with me. One is coordinator and another one is the cluster member. So as you all know, cluster sync can directly communicate with the cluster member. I don't have a router right now, and you can able to see the link. As you all see, this is what we call as link quality indicator. LQI stands for link quality indicator, and 255. They are both very near with each other. So this has been technically we call it as RSSI, receiver signal strength indicator. You might have done many works on receiver signal strength indicator. The blinking terms, it signifies that every second it is sending some hello packet. Okay, as you can see, blinking. Is blinking visible to you all? The line getting blinked. Na? So every time it sends some hello packet and it confirms the presence of this device. Okay, it confirms whether the device is available or not, and you can also make it as the routing table. You see, this is the exact routing table information. Okay, how many device gets been connected with what device, and if you just connect more devices, you can able to up and see more devices on routing table. You can see to which device it is being connected and what is the link quality thing, to which device it is connected. It is having 255. 255 is the maximum step. Okay, so now let me show you the details of each device. Okay, so here I have given PAN ID 10. Okay, personal area network ID. Okay, scan channel 10 and operating ID, everything. So the MAC address of this corresponding device is being given here. As you can see it, this is the DH and DL, higher order MAC address and lower order MAC address. Okay, people who are working in MAC layer can able to understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you can also able to write the ports, how many ports you want, what is the thing you want. Now I'm going to do is, there are two formats of data that you can send to both of the guys. Like Is my thing visible to you all? What I'm showing is visible? Okay. So now I have wirelessly taken what are all the data that I want, and now I'm going to trigger a pin. I'm going to set a pin low. When I set a pin low, I think you can able to see some light glowing on. Am I right? Hello. I have put an very big lamp over here. Okay. So what I'm doing is an NOT logic. If it is low, it will be high here. If it is high, it will be low here. So now I'm going to wirelessly transmit a signal to switch it off. Okay. It's switched off. I think you can see the bulb here. It is hot. It is an 200-watt bulb. Why I put 200-watt bulb is to show you the efficiency of the relay. Okay, so this relay unit, what you are seeing here, can able to withstand 5 amps, and you can able to trigger something with 2 kilometers apart. If you change the radio, you can also able to transmit something to more further distance. Okay, so I have connected with the single pin. So the first pin I have connected, and I have designed the PCB in such a manner so that I trigger this. You can also see analog to digital conversion. You connect the sensors directly, and you can able to see the data. Okay, so let me show you the data. Okay, let me stop the discovery process and come to data process. So here, this is what we call as data. You see here, IO sampler. Its corresponding pin, what is the value? Value of analog channel, digital channel is high. This is the packet information. So here, this is the entire packet. This is the packet value. You can see header information. This is that address 00013A2. I showed you na address and stuff. You can also send, this is the sensor information along with the packet information. Okay, so you can see the packet ID here. So let me open it. So you can see the packet ID here, like it is 324 packet ID, 325, 326. When something loses, the packet ID will miss it. Okay, now it is very nearby, so packet ID is all continuous in nature. As you can see the packet ID. So this is where you count the drop packets. Okay, so when network is not receiving any particular packet ID, it retransmits, and the same data will be retransmitted again to the corresponding node. This is the logic behind Internet of Things and wireless sensor network. So let me frame a packet for you, and let me send a packet for you. So user information, user data relay. Okay, so I'm going to send a user data relay. Here what you are saying is the header packet. I think you can all see this. Is this visible to everybody? Hello, hello guys. Okay. So let me put my own information. Like instead of sensor information, the user wants to send some information to Zigbee network. So let me type my message. Okay. Sorry. Wherever text, yeah, it should be typed here. Okay. Hello, how are you? Okay. So this is the information what I want to send, and corresponding hex code information is this. Can you see? I think everybody can see. Corresponding hex code. Hello, how are you? Information hex code is this. Value of this is this, and this is the footer packet assembler. And now let me frame. Sorry, this is not user data relay. So hello, how are you? So this information is here. Hex code of the corresponding information is here. So what I want to do now is Now I have created my own packet and I have add frame. I can able to send a frame now. I send this frame, you can see. Wait a minute, now it will be visible. I think the user data is being sent at timestamp 3 o'clock 21th minute and 382 milliseconds. Hello, can you see it? So what information is relayed is being given in the side. Hello, how are you? This information is being sent to the corresponding packet, corresponding guy. You can broadcast it, you can unicast it, you can send it to hop it, do any sort of thing. Okay, can you see this steps? So for example, if the information what I'm trying to send is more than an packet, how it happens? Let me check. Let me put some data. I'm going to send all this information inside the network. Let us check whether it accepts or not. You see, it can able to send one packet 255 bytes. You understand? So the packet size is only 255 bytes. If you want to send this information also, you want to send it as a new packet. Can you understand? I think you all can understand. Now, this is what the big packet says. Xcode of the information. Okay, let me send and check what it is doing. Now I can able to deselect all. Only user data relay I want to see. Okay. User data has been relayed at that time. Connect. I want to send this guy. You see? This is the data. Install from source requires something from copied from internet. You can see 449, 451, 454, 456. The in between packet is IO sampler. Let me stop the IO sampler and then you can able to realize that thing. Sorry, here. Disabled. Okay. Now I can able to schedule the sensor unit. Like I can able to switch off, switch on any unit, and I can also able to merge the data. Data aggregation is also possible. Since I have very limited time, I cannot able to say many things or demonstrate many things for you. Okay, so this is how it works. This is the real-time wireless sensor network. So this also can be seen in this manner. Let me show it to you one more time. Okay, so let me unbox and show you the product what our company has made. So this is the product what we have designed. Okay, This is the first version of our product. We have a relay. So this relay was connected to a lamp. Lamp. Okay. So lamp holder is here. Lamp holder is here, and we give 230-volt input supply. This 230-volt input supply is being controlled by 5-volt supply, 5-volt Zigbee, one or zero. It sends 1 or 0, and it starts getting the data from the user. Okay, so you can able to know who turned on this device, and you can able to know when this device was turned on. You can able to see the device utilization factor with this Zigbee computer. Okay, so this device is already available in market from our company, and we are working with many industries on this so that they can turn on, turn off. They can able to measure the so you know to clear the okay. Now many industries are working with us on this product design. Coming back, this is a simple demonstration on Zigbee networking. I was trying to make some demonstrations on image processing application, but I couldn't do. Problem with the demonstration. Current slide. Okay, so sensorless battery monitoring. This is a very important stuff for automobile industry. OTAP. OTAP is nothing but over-the-air programming. Wireless charging is mainly interested stuff for IoT, battery safety system. All these is being a part and parcel of automobile industry, which what people are expecting right now. Present industries are expecting. Okay, so these keywords you can just use it for your research purpose or any other purpose, and you can able to work and make good novel research contributions on this. So next comes the finite state machine and event triggered system. So how industries work is with normal finite state machines, either Moore or Mealy based. They don't go for finite automata and complicate themselves. This is what people do, like locked state and unlocked state. When it is filling, it is in locked state. When it is not filling the bottle, it is in unlocked state. So that is a simple example over here. And they design more combinational circuits. They work with MQTT and co-app protocols. This is the attack model. Okay, so all these people are working with cyber physical systems. They want some interesting. They want their machines and industrial data to be more attack proof in nature. So what they do in order to have this is they create more elliptic curve cryptography algorithm and more new lightweight cryptographic algorithm for securing the data. So here, even in sensor level, they give automation, security. So some sensors are more costly. They keep sensor data more confidential. They encrypt the sensor data. In some cases, they encrypt the network data. So in some cases, they encrypt going inside the network, they make some logins and they start encrypting the data. Okay. So here, one of the industry asked me something like we have a sensor. For example, you have a charger, a mobile phone charger. Okay, so mobile phone charger is not quite costly. If somebody takes your charger, they can simply plug in with their mobile phone and they can start charging their own mobile phone. So industry, what they expect is sensors. If somebody gets and plug into their system, the sensor should not work. They want a hardware MAC address based security. Like this sensor can only work with this system. It cannot work with the other system. Likewise, they are expecting more security with each and every step. They are expecting security. So think a charger having a security option. Only even the cable wants the security from their point of view, which makes more complicated and which we cannot make which we cannot satisfy right now, but might be in near future you can able to satisfy these options. Okay, this is one of the interesting slide. If you are willing writing an operating system, I suggest you see. If you are willing writing a very complex application, execution speed is extremely important. I suggest you use C++. If it is marketing is key, but execution speed is not important, I suggest you to use Python. If your boss told you do it in Java or you are fired, I suggest you use Java and look for better workplace. This is a very favorite meme what I got from internet. So Java is getting outdated, so people stop using or minimize using Java unless and otherwise it is required. Start using the core programming language like C, C++, where time memory can be saved and you can able to work a lot on these stuff. Okay, so this is what industrial people are really expecting. Okay, lightweight cryptography, lightweight programming. This is what I showed you. Let me put it in your chat so that you these are all Google search keywords. Please go to Google with these terms and you can able to download or do more attractive stuff with these keywords. Okay, this would be very interesting keywords. More people are doing research on this. Okay, so this is also more important stuff. ADAS, LIDAR, Velodyne, I'll put it here. Okay, so health industry is working a lot on this stuff like industry 4.0. They are making artificial pancreas, insulin pump, and green pacemaker. So here, I think most of your parents or even yourself will be having diabetes, being in a stressful job. Our teaching job was not stressful, but it is making these NBA guys and ACT guys are making it more stressful in nature presently. So what I'm trying to say is, normally if anybody is having diabetes, their sugar level will be like this. Okay, so it will be rapid, and when someone takes diabetes tablet, the sugar level will come within limit, and after the tablet loses its thing, it goes high. So sudden low and sudden high is not cannot be admitted by your liver or pancreas. So that people invented a device called artificial pancreas or insulin pump. It works on closed loop control system. So when sugar goes high, it sends very minimal amount of insulin so that it comes under control. You see the variation phase with respect to this graph and this graph. You can able to see what is the thing I am trying to say. So people who are having insulin pump can able to survive longer duration and can able to work really good. So people in UK and US, what they are trying to do is they are trying to mimic an dog nose. This dog nose is capable to sense the sweat smell which is happening because of rapid change in glucose level. So that can be easily done with this dog. That dog is quite costly. You can able to see dogs being used for sugar patients. Let me show you. Sorry. You see, diabetes alert dog. Very interesting, no? So nano people and biosensors people are trying to mimic the nose of this corresponding dog. It is an interesting news. You please go through. These people are trying to mimic the nose of this with the nanoscience and the bioscience, so that you can able to see high predictive results. Is my chat received to everyone? So I'm sending to everyone only, no? Okay. Okay, so the same way the sensor data can be realized, and you can get the sensor data and you can start making with works with the health industries. Okay. Aspects, challenges and solution: security, energy, trust, reliability. Okay, so this is the very interesting and important topic in industry 4.0, especially in cloud based stuff. Okay, so whatever you go, even you go for Azure or Google or Amazon Web Service, whatever the thing, you lack with the trust and energy capabilities. So this is a very important thing what you want to know. Okay, so this is very basic stuff. Do you have any 3D printing course in your college? If you are not having, you should definitely know. This is a very important concept in the present industrial market. People should know how to make rapid prototyping. These are all very important keywords that you want to know. Okay, so G-Spread package I don't have right now. Okay, let me demonstrate something else for you, which should be very interesting to know. Okay, so after one demonstration, I'll try to stop and will. Okay, so there is an software called Page. How many of you know this software? I don't know. Sorry. Okay, so there is a software called Page, which is a drag and drop based programming, which helps you a lot on building user interface for Python. Okay, Page Python download. Okay, so this is the link to download that software, and I'll show you how to make certain things and how it really helps you in making good and fast projects. Industry requires very fast stuffs. They don't work with slow workers. So immediately they will ask some solution. Like today they will ask, and tomorrow they will finalize the budget and will send you. So you should be capable to doing very fast projects and rapid prototyping. Prototyping is very important in when it comes to industry. Okay. I have already installed this. This is a tool command command language based software. I should be having it here. Yeah, here it is. So is this software visible to everyone? It's really slow. Okay. Okay. So this is the software. When you click and run as administrator, this will come, and this is the icon for it. You can see the icon here. Okay. So how to program and utilize this software is like this. If you want a button, you click a button. Okay. You want a checkbox, you check box. You want any other thing. Okay, so let me okay. If I double click and one more window should come. Where is it? It is a tool command language. demo. Okay, I think it should come. Where is it? So let me close the unnecessary things. Okay, let me check it here. Yeah, it comes here. Okay, I will click from here. Okay, so here you have these windows. I put a button, 3 buttons. Okay, I put some checkbox. I put some entry. Okay, so here I can able to modify the parameters. Okay, so now I want to write program. Instead of writing program, what I do is I click here, generate Python. It wants to save. The system immediately has generated the Python program. Can you believe it? The thing is, you don't want to write more amount of coding here. Support module, save, run. Okay, so my library is not working, so but it will immediately work. Okay, so here what we have is we save the output, and if you run, it will start running the program. Okay, so this is very simple. You imagine how much time it will require for you to type something and make some programs like this. So this software is really amazing, and you can also this if you just port this to some thin client, it will start working. So the only thing is you want to make some necessary modifications in this. You can also put input. You can also type new coding in this, and you can also configure the blocks, like how to configure the buttons and other things. I'll show you now. Here, I'll let me put bindings button one, let me put a program. Hello. Hello. Okay. Now this button is binded with some program, and again I just regenerate the thing. Here you can able to see define hello dot p1. So when this button is being clicked, this program will activate. So you can write whatever the things that you want to print when that button is being clicked. Okay, print hello. I love India. Okay, so this will be printed when the button is being used. Okay, so you can save and you can run. So now I don't have a perfect Python in the system. I'm making some updation process, but it will really run for you when you are trying to work on this. Let me check whether it is portable and it can run here. I don't know what has happened. This is tool command language. You want to have tkinter package for doing this. Okay, so I don't have Python, good Python right now. Check. Are you guys satisfied with this? You want more on this? I'm not sure whether I have tkinter with this. Okay, it runs. I think it is not configured. Okay, so this is one of my previous demonstration what I have created. I think that can also be shown. Okay, so this is my previous project what I have created. So here what I do is I will make some minor modification. I'll put some few more check buttons so that it becomes more trustable. Okay, so I save it, I generate it. That is getting saved. Okay, update. Close. Now are you guys seeing this what I'm doing or hello? Okay, so idle, I'm using idle. So okay, so new buttons has come. Okay, so hello dem, when I press hello dem, it works. Okay, can you see?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I can also write some more programs, whatever it wants to come. So here, let me put an additional thing. You can also put anything. Atal workshop guys. Save it. Okay, Atal workshop guys. Come. Okay, so you can write your own program and make use of this software. It's a really interesting software, and you can make lot many things. You can able to make good projects out of it. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope you are satisfied with the demonstrations and the useful material what I have shared to you. Do you have any more doubts or anything else to be done? Still, few more things have to be discussed, but I don't have time right now to discuss more of these things. We can meet in nice other occasion. If you have any doubts, please let me know. How I could help you? I'm very interested to work with you all people. It's a great pleasure for me to work with you. Please let me know your doubts. Saktivel sir,
Sir, you say me, sir?
completed now, sir? Uh,
Yes, yes. Now this time is open for the queries, sir, from participants. The session is open for the queries from participants.
okay, so let
Sir,
me
can
put.
you able to listen me, sir?
Sir?
Sir, can you able to listen me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, please, please.
Sir, what are the things that you explained with that tools websites? If we do work and get results, can
Yeah.
we publish in research papers, sir?
Yeah, sure. That is the main motto of this thing. Like how you get the data, how you make it, how you design more dashboards and other things. So this is very, very important steps. You can able to do a lot many activities with this.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other doubts?
Any other doubts?
Okay. Actually, this is my contact number and mail ID. If you're really interested, please you can just contact me with these things. It will be very. We will have a very good research work or something, or some other work, even with consultancy works or something. I have my own startup. As I told you, I would be very interested in training your students and training as faculty members as well from industry point of view. We also give 1 credit course and other things on industry and industry 4.0 aspects. I am also an editor-in-chief for a book journal, book actually, Wiley. Okay, 1 minute, please. So this is my book publishing website. We work with Wiley. Okay, so this is my book website. I work with Dr. Kolla Banuprakash. He is an experienced guy who works with me. Okay, so this is my book website. If you are interested, really interested in writing, authoring books or something, you please just put a message to me. It would be a great thing to work with you all.
Sir, it comes under Springer. Am I right, sir?
Wiley, sir. Wiley.
Okay.
Then I already just authored and edited lot many books on Springer as well as Wiley. These are all some of my contributions. Okay, so these are all some of my contributions and other things that you can able to see. You can follow my blog. This is what I'm done. Okay. Any other queries? Please let me know. Okay.
Sir, shall we finish, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, of course.
Right. So I am here now to propose the vote of thanks to the technical session 3 of day 4, Mr. G. K. Kanaka Chidambaresan sir. He has covered right from morning so many areas, especially IoT with Azure. He has covered introduction to IoT, how IoT works, structure of IoT, IoT as a network of networks, deep learning based student identification projects, then Velodyne leader output, then Stereo Labs, and so many real-time products such as Rock Melodic, then PLC and SCADA systems, 3D printing, and so on. Really, this professor enlightened us with so many interesting areas today. So we wholeheartedly thank Dr. Kanaka Chidambaresan sir for his mind-blowing 3 technical sessions. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Hello? Sir, is it audible? Sir, please unmute your mic. Sir, unmute your mic. Sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. It's a great pleasure for me to interact with you all people in AICT sponsored stuff. Thank you once again.
Okay, right. Right.
Okay.
So, dear participants, with this, we will end day 4 sessions. Tomorrow, we have the final day technical sessions. The resource person of tomorrow's technical session is Mr. B. Parasuraman. He is going to address the cloud-based system architecture in the technical session 1, followed by technical session 2 is for demo, right? So I expect the same, what you call, the pulse to be maintained in the technical sessions of tomorrow also, right? So with this, I want to end up before the feedback link for day 4 session is now available in your WhatsApp link. In another 2 to 3 minutes, I will send it to your WhatsApp group as well as to your personal email ID. So don't forget to fill and submit the feedback of day 4 session. Thank you. Thank you so much.